Hello everyone, my name is Holly. I was, before I did the mistake of graduating, a third year psychology student at the University of Lincoln, and I am here today to annoy you, Stephen.
Hello.
And I'm a piece of trash, so I'm
Wow!
So-
Everyone else has done... You're the most professional person.
I've been talking on the phone all day. I'm in the zone right now.
Literally, Ben did elevator music.
That's fun though.
Zach did a theme song, and I tried to coax Sam and Michael into doing the John Cena theme song. You sound like I'm about to go to court.
Well, you might be.
Why
You
did
to
you-
make a case for yourself.
You gave me a weird look before you said, well, you might be. Like,
Yeah.
what
Well-
did I do?
I don't know. You have to defend quite a few people on this topic I have. I'm going to
Okay.
offend a few people.
It's
sorry.
cool. The one I did, what would be last week now, was all about how obviously women are creepy, and then I was so borderline, like, causing a feminist uprising to set fire to me.
Oh, damn. So was it kind of like a for and against kind of deal where one person would be like, but girls, vaginas, boobs, and the other one would be like, creepy AF.
I was mostly on the creepy AF side, and then of all people, it was Michael who kept saying, like, I should know that both men and women are weird, not all women are weird. I was like, no, all women are fucking psychopaths. Why are you trying to fight this? Even Sam, who is a girl, sat right there, said, nah, we're pretty weird, yo.
We are pretty weird, but guys can be weird too. But anyway, that's not the topic this week.
That was
Yeah,
this morning stroke last week.
I'll tell your mum.
Oh, it's cool. Very first episode, I said if you're related to me or I'm employed by you, please go away.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, please don't read my diary. Well, can't do anything
I mean, it
about
was
that
there.
now.
So yeah, the way this works, you probably know by now, I have a bit of a short temper.
I don't actually. Like I said on the train,
Yeah,
I've
actually, yeah.
never seen you completely lose your temper or anything near to that, I don't think. But then again, that just might be you, and you might have always been losing your temper around me, which is viable. I'm pretty annoying.
Well, yeah.
Oi.
You stamped your cup at me.
Yes.
Reasonable. So then, what horrific topic have you brought with you today then?
Games computing.
Oh no.
Don't you just play games all day?
Oh no!
I'm not sorry.
Okay.
Okay, he's red in the face.
Oh no.
This is his natural habitat.
Oh. For context,
The
that
beard is like on fire right now. It is aflamed with anger.
the immediate thought, because I should probably explain. That's the course I do at uni. All I can think about is when I did an open day. We were in like the downstairs area of one of the buildings around here, and a family came over to us, and we're like, "Excuse me, guys, are you okay there?" It's like, "Oh, we're just looking for history." Pointing them right there because it was just next to us, and so the son sat down and spoke to him, and the guy turned around, and it was me and Ben. And he's like, "Oh, so what course do you guys do?" And he first spoke to Ben, and Ben was like, "Oh, I do computer science." And he was like really interested, really into it. It's like, obviously we do robots, we do databases, cloud computing, that sort of thing. Turned to me and said, "Oh, so what about you then?" He's like, "Oh, I do games computing." His face dropped, and he was like, "So don't all you do is just play games?" I was like, "Yes,
Oh,
that's
you
all
took
I
the
do.
topic.
That's all I ever do. Just play games, twiddle my thumb, and drink Mountain Dew. You silly bastard."
Well, to be fair, that's all the Snapchats I get from you.
I mean,
It's
That's
either
because-
Taylor Swift or games.
I have no regrets about Taylor Swift.
No.
Mostly because I got you guys me on Snapchat after I finished my degree. So the only time you've seen that is when I've been free.
You're just giving me the death.
I don't know where to begin.
Okay. My not issue with it. I don't have any issues with any degrees. You know, you do you. It's your life. I can't tell you how to be happy or how to be successful.
You do psychology.
Bruh. So most people think it's prancing around a field going, "Oh my god, let's talk about our feelings," or Freud.
I mean, that's not it.
I'm not the topic here. You are. Don't get away from the subject. But I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and she was like, well, to me, games computing is just a mediocre version with more games of computer science.
Oh.
And I don't really know much about either degree, so...
Oh, who is this friend?
Just someone from work, and...
Oh, I need to... Oh...
Oh God.
You've done me an anger. You've done me a great anger.
How dare.
Cool, so I remember distinctly the very first session we had of Intro to Game Studies, which is one of my modules.
Is this first year?
First year, yeah. And we all walked in and they said, you're all going to... For the first session, because you haven't had a formal lecture of anything coding based, we can't really do a lot. Mm-hmm. So we're going to show you a little bit of what your final assessment's going to be, or like a mini assessment that we're going to do. And it's basically one button games. Mm-hmm. And so in that we physically had to play games purely because we didn't know anything. I think after that, the last time we played games for a part of our course was for someone else's MSc research in third year. Mm-hmm. And we had to play some shoot 'em up, I can't remember what it is, some war FPS. But between those times...
You did not play any games.
I think before my dissertation finished, or I finished my dissertation a couple of weeks ago, the last time I played anything was summer. Not including
yourself personally.
Yeah, myself personally, because I think the only thing I played until then was Tetris or Football Manager on my phone. That was it. And the first game I played afterwards, because my dissertation went horrifically wrong, I went into a game and blindly bought Fallout 4. I just sat in my room for 2 days. This makes the pain go away.
Yeah, shooting things and stuff.
But what makes me annoyed is, among other things, the fact that I'm on this games course that, everyone plays video games.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, in my defence, the very first picture of games computing is a guy playing a video game. So of course we're going to think, it's all about games and playing. And
he might have developed it. You
have
have to test play these things.
He looked very aggressive, and so that's literally... The introduction of games computing is computer games. It's in the title.
It's the programming of games, not the playing. We're not all YouTube or Twitch.
So do you do coding? Do you?
We mostly code. We develop the game. So we're the ones that go on Unity or Monogame or that sort of thing and physically build it.
So do you create mods and stuff for current games or anything like that?
We did a little bit of modding. We did some in-game console stuff, which is infinite bouncing or rubber bullets, that sort of thing. So it was great. We had we slowed down bullet speed, but set all the rockets to ricochet. Mm-hmm. So it's just slow motion rocket moving through time. They would bounce off a wall and then bounce off the floor, and then if you went near it, it would just explode because it kept velocity but not the speed. So we would just all blow up from this really slow moving ball of fire going through the air. But yeah, apart from that, we share in first and second year we shared a lot of modules with the so-called real computer science. Mm-hmm. So we had to learn all the base programming languages, and then a lot of our lecturers have told us that we actually have the harder course because we have to learn so many more.
Yeah.
So we do C++ and C# like everyone else, and then loads of add-ons. So you've got Monogame, the other one OpenGL, which is a whore.
You're really selling your course.
It is programming. It's a horrible programming. I remember one of the things we had to do was a rabbit. I can't remember the proper name for it, but we had to make a rabbit using triangles. Mm-hmm. So that was our assessment. I went home for Christmas, went to Pets at Home with my dad, and then saw a rabbit in one of the pins, and the first thing that came to my head was, that's a lot of triangles. That's what this course has done to me. I look at a bunny rabbit and I think of fucking triangles.
Goddamn.
God.
Okay, so what is the real difference? Because all you've said to me right now is that your course is technically more advanced than computer science. So why is it that computer science is such a massive course and is kind of, I don't know, nationwide if not worldwide, but the only other place I've seen, I think I've only ever seen like one other university with games computing as a course itself. So why is there so much more effort being put towards computer science? Is it just because that's how it's been? Like, it's just popular?
For what I gather, there's two reasons. One is the stereotype, like Neckbeards in a cupboard.
I mean,
Don't you dare point at my face.
You do have a neckbeard.
That's the face. Neck is there. Neck is there.
But you can't see it because it's quite big.
Neck.
To be fair though, I'm complimenting you at this point because it's so thick and you think it's thin. Moving on.
That's the second time I've been called a neckbeard today.
Only the second.
Oh, fuck off.
That'll be my next topic.
Oh, I've lost my train. Oh, fuck no. You're never coming back. You're not invited.
I am. Aww, it's fun though.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's been 11 minutes. I'm all ready to throw myself in front of a bus.
Is this the earliest you want to do in a podcast? I would have thought other like alcohol or I don't know.
Alcohol set me off real quick.
Yeah.
Zach's one where it's just everyone's doing better than us just made me feel really sad. And then Creepy Girls was just more of a war cry than a frustration. But this grinds the gears. This rustles the jimmies.
I rub my hands evilly.
That's it. Well, yeah, it is the stereotype, obviously, in the cupboards, that sort of thing. Don't mention my beard. And the other half of it is it's still a very niche program. Because obviously when you think of games program, even I did when I first got here, it's for you either do the games industry or you do nothing else, or you teach. Because that's everyone's backup plan. So,
What I'm gonna do.
so the idea that, like, people understand, like I said, including myself, when we get here, we do learn transferable skills. Like, we're forever being told by our lecturers and technically our bosses that people who have gone to do the computer science course have gone to work for, say, Crytek, Ubisoft, that sort of thing. And the people who have done games computing have gone on to work for, like, Halifax, that really big IBM?
IBM? Yeah, that sounds
That's the
right.
one. IBM. They went on to work for these like normal computing places because they've still learned the skills and they're all transferable. It's because it's got this big luminous label saying games. It's like, nah, you just cupboard.
Yeah. That's where I want to be. Sold. So is it a case of they need to just change the name to really sell what you do?
Personally, I just think people need to stop being so stupid. And
well, you can say that about any kind of degree, like creative writing. Oh my god, you just write poetry, or psychology. You just learn about Freud.
You really don't like Freud, do you?
I love. I took a psychodynamic module, and I don't love Freud. I love what he's done for psychology and how people have interpreted his workings. And now we know about schizophrenia, even though he called it hysteria. We can now label a mental illness because of Freud. And okay, someone quite a bit later, if not at the same time, may have come up with the idea themselves. They might not have been a rich, white, middle-aged man, but, you know, history is history, and, you know, the white man is always correct.
Woo!
Back in the past. They didn't have neckbeards though, did they?
Fuck you. They had glorious moustaches.
They did.
One day. One day.
I was just okay, it curls a little bit.
I had to trim it because everyone kept complaining.
Complaining?
If everyone stopped complaining, this would be a much nicer world.
See, now you need to do positive psychology. Which
I would excel at that.
Nuh-uh. No. We need negatives to know the positives. Sorry, Seligman. Anyway, off topic, games computing. Load of bullshit, right?
Fuck you! I put 3 years of my life. Every time I look at my student ID, I look at that slightly chubby, clean-faced young man and think, what happened to you?
And I laugh.
Yeah, everyone fucking laughs at potato-faced me.
I can't believe you were a potato.
Ah.
No, you're just a fairy potato that's gone off a little bit. You know, the one that's just kind of in the cupboard and
That's
been
grown
forgotten.
roots. Thanks. Cool. I've now been forgotten.
Oh, but I found you. I'm sorry.
You're not though.
I'm not though.
Oh, I just like the people I lived with for third year. They were the ones that kept saying, "Oh yeah, you're not really on the real course, are you?" And then they would
Of
be
your own course.
yeah. Because the way it worked for when we all joined, it was games computing, the general one, computer information system, which is more business, and then games computing, which obviously the one I was on, i.e. the not real one, apparently air quotes. And they would say to me like games computing, you know, it's two of them would try to like not outwardly say it because I actually got on with them, but then the other one was straight up. I was like, nah, it's not really a real course, is it? I was like, you are a fucking asshole, and for more than one reason, but you know. But then when I would go to bed or get in at like 11 o'clock at night because I'd spent all my day in the labs, they were all upstairs playing Rocket League or Hearthstone or fucking anything, Sims, or I got in.
Sims is great.
I never got to play it.
It was my childhood. I'll introduce you.
I remember the Herbs into the City, and had similar Black Eyed Peas. That was a weird time. Yeah, right.
That was so good. PS2. Yes. I still have my PS2.
That's another thing.
What?
People have all this nostalgia for all these great games. Like Herbs, for me, it was Tony Hawk's Underground.
Oh, yeah.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Yes.
Wipeout, Burnout. All these like really good.
Burnout,
yeah, right.
Such a good game. Can I just... Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. All these games.
Such a good game.
Made by people like me, except better.
They are the other potatoes that got
They are the potatoes that got remembered. So without people like me who do this fake course, you wouldn't have any of these nice things.
But what did they do? How did they get to where they are now?
Oh, back in the day, it was literally just get good.
Get good fast.
Get good.
Gotta go fast.
Pretty much. Oh, God, Sonic references. It was when it was like ZX Spectrum and that sort of thing. It was literally soldering the kit together, and I guess trial and error. And obviously, because there was a lot more mass based, because you didn't have like Windows or iOS, it was more. I want to say no, it's not DOS, but BIOS and the console and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was everything was more hardline than interface, because obviously the mouse didn't come till the late 70s, early 80s, something like that. So in order to use a computer, you had to learn how to use a computer, whereas now you can basically mouse, click, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And a similar sort of thing for games. So they would, when the like first program languages start coming freely available, they would just mess around with it and play and see what they can make. Hence why like a lot of the early games are just so basic. Like you think Tetris is just falling blocks. The speed up in Space Invaders, you know, when all aliens go really far, that was a mistake. That's actually a glitch in the game. They're not supposed to speed up, but as they were programming, I think after at first they couldn't figure out how to fix it, and after a while, because they saw how much more gameplay it added, they decided to keep it in.
Okay.
So Space Invaders was built on trial and error, with error being like the thing that made it really popular, and then slowly, I can't remember what like things like Unity, Game Maker, so basically game making engines, they start becoming more popular, and that's how like the indie development has come up. Like I cannot think of an example of indie game. Broforce, that was all independent for anyone in Lincoln, and I'm so sorry. #Dungeon, that got released last night, I think.
Dungeon.
#Dungeon.
Not Dungeons and Dragons.
Not Dungeons and Dragons. No, that hasn't quite made it yet. Although that's a great game.
I have actually downloaded today. Never Winter something or other.
Nerd.
Shh. It was £6 on GOG.com.
GOG? What the fuck is that?
I think it's GOG. It's kind of like a Steam, but my friend was telling me about the Dungeons and Dragons game, and Steam, even though it's almighty and amazing, doesn't have it anymore, or at least it did, but it got taken down. So he was like, try GOG. And I was like, what the fuck's GOG?
That's
like
a weird thing to say to someone, try
Right.
GOG.
I was like...
You have to get pronunciation right every
GOG.
time or else.
I just got that.
There we go.
It's like the, what was it called? Axe wound.
Axe
all over
wound.
again.
Yeah.
Hashtag vagina.
Just in case people didn't know.
Well, I didn't. It took me half a second and then I was like, I wish I never thought of that. But no, it's just like Steam, but apparently with Dungeons and Dragons game on there. So I was excited, and now that's what I'm going to play after.
Cool, kid.
I'm going to be a half elf.
Oh, there needs to be something decent. Wait.
Rogue? No, wait, that's not class.
The rogue's a class, it's not a race.
Yeah,
Half elf
race,
is
that's
race.
the one. That's the one. What's going to be? Half elf, elf, Eladrin, which is what I am, but that's only 4 and 5. What's going to be? Human.
Ha! Zach's a half elf.
Half elves are great. They are just like the jack of all trades. They just mould into a lot of different things. Like
He loves being a half elf so much, he tried to become a dragon disciple.
I want to kind of try the gnome, but to me they are only good at bard. But bards are cool. Like if you watch Critical Role.
You love fucking Critical Role.
I'm on episode 35 and I was watching it when I was meant to be working today.
But yes, you're the responsible one and I'm the one that does nothing all day.
Hey, I don't do anything now since I've been free. But no, that's what I'm going to play when I get home.
What a nerd.
Shut up.
Oh, but then I think there is some sort of, they're trying to make some sort of like D&D game on PC so you can like play with friends over Skype, and that's done by people like me.
Okay, if you can do that, I will apologise for this podcast topic. And
will you though?
I don't know. No, not really. I
Well,
won't mean
then.
it. But you get the fake apology.
Oh gee, thanks. What I have always wanted from my life. A fake
Well,
apology.
what do you want?
I don't know. Accreditation that my course is real.
Okay, I will do that then. I'll come back when your podcast is successful and I will say that, and your millions of viewers will be like, what? Shade on Holly.
And then I'll find all social media that you have and get everyone to send you mean things.
I'll be dead.
Wow.
Well, that's what Tom said anyway. So I'm going to Japan. I'm going to be like whatever her name was.
Oh shit, yeah. Man, that was dark.
That was so dark. Ugh.
Better get used to it in Japan. Not the whole dying thing, the whole developer. Because Japan fucking... all the games came from there.
That's true.
Fucking...
And anime.
and anime... oh, Christ.
But there are no subtitles in Japan.
Ha.
I don't know. It's going to be a weird one. To be honest. But, okay, what do you want to do then? Do you want to make a game?
I want to be... the one thing I've definitely want to do, because being in uni has made me question every decision I've ever made ever.
True. We are not adults.
Nope.
Nope.
I remember...
I still get terrified. I work with telephones. I have to call people. And every single time I'm on Word writing a script as to what I'm going to say. And then I get scared if they deviate from that script. I'm like, this wasn't part of the plan.
That's bad, because when we were all looking for a house, we kept saying to each other, should we get Holly to call everyone? Because none of us liked using the phone.
I hate using the phone, but you've got to get used to it.
No.
Yes.
I don't even like phone calls now.
If anyone like rings me on the phone, I'm just like, nope. I was walking out of work actually today and someone called and I just left.
just
It was after 5. They said I could go.
Oh, the one thing I am sure of though, I do want to stay in the games industry somehow, because it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And when you are coding, which is something that I actually do, when something goes right, it's so joyous because you spent 4 hours working on this bug and it's finally fixed, and now you need to go fix the other 673. That actually happened once. I did something in a programming assignment because I had brackets all mixed up, so I put on what I thought was the right order. hit debug, and it came up with like, you have currently 674 different errors. I'm like, cool. It's only got to be in a week.
Only a week. So, not to put any downer on anyone who does work for these people, because I think it's fucking awesome, but you don't just want to work for Rockstar.
Not just Rockstar, no. Yeah. It's not a case of Rockstar or bust. It would be cool. What's the thing? When I first came here, it would have been cool to work for Rockstar, purely because when someone says, like, what are your favourite games? GTA, Red Dead, at the time, L.A. Noire, that sort of thing. But I've just heard a few, I've heard mixed stories about how Rockstar treats staff. Obviously, for everyone it's different. Now I'm more familiar with the games industry, both AAA, i.e. like Rockstar, Ubisoft, that sort of thing, and independent. I wouldn't mind going to another company or an independent company, and in fact, I'm fairly certain independent is where most people start, because you go in as like a base sort of thing, and you just like slowly learn with a lead programmer. With the big companies like Rockstar, you go in as like a junior programmer, and a lot of time you get sort of tailored towards a certain thing. So why can I not think of any independent games at all? Like,
I've only done this for 3 years.
Shut the fuck up. Papers, Please, then. Odds are Papers,
Please.
Right.
Oh my god.
We made that, except the better version of me.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you, but
not me personally.
I am better than them. No.
For a game like Papers, Please, odds are they had a single programmer, single lead programmer, and then 2 assistants, like sub-programmers. With a game like GTA, you've got the guy who programs the lights, programs the animation of the wheels, programs a specific dialogue chain between 2 characters. They are so specific, like special effects. They're very, very, very specific in like the bigger companies, and it just depends like what they say, go do. But I definitely want to stay in the games industry, and I want to make a massive game, like borderline Final Fantasy size, and then I've always had this, I've had ideas for like smaller games. Some of them have been able to do are game jams, but the end goal is to make this hugely expansive game, and then when it's all finished and I'm standing there at E3 giving the presentation, I'm just going to look at the hard camera and go, fuck you!
Okay, can I be invited, and I will give a formal apology
Deal.
To E3. Okay, deal.
To game developers everywhere who get told that it's not a real course. And for anyone, this is a plea, because obviously doing the fucking open days, obviously you get people from all sorts of walks of life come in and say, oh yeah, we're here for games computing. You'll get some which are quote unquote normal looking. So like the people I know, like when I first met Zach, I didn't know what course he was on. And then Yuki was the same. The way Yuki, like, because when I first met you, he already had like a big clique of friends. I was like, do you do like media or something or something? And they're both on my course. So the ones where you wouldn't suspect them, that's like, I want to say normal because of the individuality and all that crap. But the ones that aren't okay,
all that crap, you mean jeans?
Yeah, the ones, and like even like colourful hair, that's all cool and such. But the ones that aren't okay is, I was doing the open day ones, and you had I think psychology, one of the like PE ones, like I don't know, sports science.
They
that sort
run,
of thing.
They do stuff.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
Physiotherapy, that sort of thing, and then you had computer science and games and all that. And you could always tell if someone came up in tracksuit, because all the PE ones had like a demo they had to do to prove fitness. You could always tell who was here for the physical ones or who was here for computing, because all the PE ones were like, I should probably stop calling it PE. Proper like name brand clean tracksuits with like a sports shirt and quite trim. And then you'd see like all the games computing ones, who one guy had pure black like trackies, some like grubby shirt, and the trackies actually had like spots of mud on where he hadn't cleaned them, and he was in like name brand Shoe Zone trainers with the gleam from his greasy hair, and it's just like, come on.
I think he was cosplaying.
Oh, cosplaying a slug? I mean, all it takes is just a shower and just anything.
I mean, the greasy hair you might not be able to control, because just some people have greasy hair and that's cool. But the muddy trackies, ugh. You know, for an open day, first impressions count wherever you go.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not like there to go, right, we're not having you, and then they'll track your course and application down and be like, don't, you know, take him on because he looks like a grubby little shit. But, you know, if you want to get, I don't know, just, it sucks that real life and reality forces us to kind of dress up and kind of conform just to get, like, information and, you know, the friendlier kind of side of life. Because it is, you know, research has shown that the prettier kind of people do get more out of life, or they get, you know, helped more and the better routes, I suppose, whereas other people who may not be as conformally attractive to the public eye just have things harder. But, you know, just a little, you know, trousers and clean, and get mummy to do it.
Yeah.
You still live at home, probably. Just do that.
But then those are the sort of people I worry about, that when you move out your house and then when you move out of uni, what the fuck's going to happen to you?
Yeah, no, just some people, they look like they're ready for the world, but that's because mums and dads, I shouldn't just say mums because gender stereotype, but
bigot.
their caretakers have looked after them their entire life. Like, I know a couple of people, not naming names and all that jazz, who literally just flopped. I didn't know how to cook pasta, but I sought it for myself to go and find the information, or people would tell me, you know, but other people were just like, right, pizza every night.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's fine. You can have pizza every night. It's hard not to offend anyone in this show.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first came here, I was like, I don't know anything. The fact that still now, my housemate from first and second year still sometimes, if like an idea pops up, like a gig in Nottingham, and I say, oh man, it looks really cool. She'll say, oh yeah, but you won't go. It's like,
rude.
Cool. Yeah, cool. It's cool. I guess I'm busy.
Why did she say that?
Because when I first came to uni, I was fucking shit.
As in just socialising, or...
I tried... the socialising is the one thing I wanted to do, because I spent a year on my own because of various things, and at 2 points in that year, my mum looked me dead in the eye and said, yeah, you've got no friends or social life, do you?
I love your mum.
Right!
I'm sorry, yeah.
And so the one thing I wanted to do was always socialise, so I always had my door open, but when it came to like basic living...
Yeah.
Like, I think when I came to uni, I didn't know how to properly fry things. Like, I'd done bacon, but like sausages.
Yeah.
I think pasta I was still getting the hang of. Thankfully, I knew how to make tea. Fuck. But for a lot of first year, it was a lot of pasta, a lot of pasta packets and jars.
Yeah, and noodles, ready packs.
Yeah. God, awful time.
What is it, like 11p from Morrison's?
Yeah.
You're going to get into that rut. There's so much more. Go to the fruit and veg stall. Anyone who lives off packet noodles, go to the fruit and veg stall. I promise you, it's so much cheaper. And if you're like me, I was in a rut in first year with all my pasta and stuff and my carbs. And now I feel a healthy AF because of all the vitamins and stuff.
You keep saying AF.
I know, because I'm trash. I did warn you. I warned you, I'm Tumblr trash.
You said you were trash, you weren't Tumblr. And you never said full Tumblr.
Trash. I'm full Tumblr.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no, you've got the fucking
Gotta
fan
go
blog
first.
thing.
Yeah, I've got 2,000 and something followers.
Oh, I forgot.
Fan fiction, man. Yeah.
But I remember that, and I remember being that bad. And then when it came to the end of first year, someone I had lived in a flat with was putting butter on his crumpet, and I was like, and he said to me, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever done this." I was like, "What?
What
you mean,
butter
like
on crumpets?"
Yeah, it's the first time. He's like, "I've always got my mum to do it." It's like, how can you go through 18 years of your life without putting butter on crumpets? It's the same as toast.
It really pisses me off because I'm the second child. My brother was doted on. He got an alarm call from mum. He was made breakfast every single day. When it came to me, Holly, get yourself up. Holly, make your own dinner. Holly, make your own lunch. In what universe is it okay to do that to someone? Or to, I'm grateful that I had that experience, because then at least I know how to make fucking toast.
Yeah.
But, Jesus Christ.
To twist that knife, while we're just on the subject of that must make you the youngest then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the youngest in my family, and I was spoiled fucking rotten.
I hate you.
Yeah, both sisters had a list of jobs on their wardrobe, and they weren't allowed out on a weekend until they finished all those jobs.
And you got away with it.
I didn't get any of it.
Well,
mostly because I didn't have that many friends growing up, so they couldn't really hold that over my head.
So you stayed in anyway. There was nothing keeping you out.
It's like whenever I was in trouble, it's like, don't do it, you're grounded. I'm like, but I go live in my room. I don't go out.
I play games all day.
Literally, if you ground me, it just means I can't go to school, which I enjoy sometimes. So, but that's a different story. But just like, people like that, I know uni's hard. It's really fucking hard.
But make it easy for yourself by knowing how to live. Food, washing up, washing clothes.
Washing you.
Washing you!
Rule one,
learn how... you, slug boy.
God.
Out there. He's probably listened to this podcast just going, no one loves me. My mum thinks I'm cool.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
We've really deviated from the topic. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. We somehow, when Zach came on, we somehow started building our own company.
Well, is that to...
In spite of other people, yeah.
Inspire yourself from
And then
others.
with Michael and Sam, we ended up talking about Captain America. When we were talking about creepy women. Yeah.
How did that come out?
It happened.
I know Bucky looks a bit like a girl, but...
And now apparently he looks like Mark Hamill.
Don't see it.
No, I didn't see it until they literally put them side by side with Photoshop. It's like, oh well, fucking now that's the same person.
Photoshop?
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking why.
I pulled out so much hair over this.
He's now a bald guy.
Oh, it's just...
He's only got a neck beard.
Fuck off! All I keep hearing in my head is that fucking parent from second year saying, oh, so all you do is play games then. And the fact that because I was working, I was on the clock, I was representing... There's more hair. I was representing the uni. I couldn't say to him, no, yeah, that's completely what I do. All I fucking do is sit in my arse all day playing video games.
Please tell me that's actually what you said.
I wanted to. All I had to do was, oh, no, so what I actually do is this, and this. And you just give it, all right. So, Ben, what else do you like about the uni here? It's like, you son of a bitch. Oh.
So you code, you design.
There was a little bit of design.
Yeah.
When like I said I'd love to go in the games industry in some capacity. I would love to obviously be a programmer because that's what I've been technically trained to be. I'm not very good at programming, but obviously the skills are somewhere in there. But I wouldn't mind working as a designer because that's the part where I can actually start formulating ideas and seeing like, okay, this is shit, that's okay, etc. And then everyone always remembers the designers. Like Kojima, Miyamoto. I've wanted to mention someone who was at least Western, but I cannot. But all the big ones, they always, like, every time you associate a franchise, it's always developer. Like, Kojima is a really good one. He worked for Konami for years, and obviously they made Metal Gear. And, yeah, right. Oh, that's Notch. He's a developer. He's a technical designer.
Fangirl.
Notch, who made Minecraft, he was technically the designer because he did a little bit of program, but even he says that, yeah, I'm not a great programmer. I left it to the people who know what they were doing. And I remember there was two great points last year. Everyone knew Kojima's name because he broke away from Konami and signed a contract with Sony. So now he's working with them. And that was the years of like awful stories coming out about how Konami treated Hideo Kojima. And then and it was obviously great to see Sony sign him and like get him to work with them. But it was the fact that a games developer was making headlines, and then a few months later or a few months earlier, Notch, who again made Minecraft, he outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce for a $2.4 million mansion in LA.
Queen.
Yeah.
He outbeat my queen.
He outbeat Beyonce.
Oh.
All because of like Minecraft, building that up, making it a phenomenon, and then selling it off to Microsoft.
And it's shitty graphics.
It's
shitty graphics.
Yeah.
So he literally just had this concept and made a fuck ton. I still don't understand what Minecraft is.
Minecraft is basically Lego for people who can't afford Lego. Because Lego is bare expensive now.
It is very expensive because it's nostalgia.
We wanted to get some for a friend of ours' birthday, and we wanted to get like just a basic box fit. And I remember as a kid, it used to be about £8-10.
Yeah.
It was like £24 for a box of Lego at Toys R Us.
Shit.
And you go on eBay, it's like maybe someone's got like their old collection. Like, nope, still going for like 20, 30, 40, £50.
Damn, I should have kept mine.
Yeah, well,
I just threw it away.
I never had any. I had Kinects. Yeah. To be fair, don't you laugh, bitch.
Sorry.
But I don't want to play Lego. But yeah, it's the basic idea, and now it's just exploded. I think it's sold for 2.4 billion.
I would sell my child for 2.4 billion.
I think you need a child first. There's kind of a prerequisite.
Nah, they just turn up, stalk.
Life is not Sims, woman.
That's not how it is in The Sims either.
Oh no, it's flat. No, I remember it's flowers, isn't it? Just loads of flowers in the crib.
That was Sims 2, I think.
Oh.
Sims 3, you actually go to the hospital.
Do we?
Yeah. Wait, we are not Sims, Stephen.
How do you know?
Actually, when I did philosophy, it blew my mind. The very first introductory lesson was life and what we think reality is. Right?
Fucking big lecture.
It's just a little, but it was squeezed into a 15-minute thing, and then he just, we were debating, we were having a really good conversation just about God and the meaning of life, and just massive things like that. And then he comes up, this lecturer or professor, and he says, well, what if we're all just Sims and there's not a God, but how we simulate God in our own heads, there is kind of a guy just telling us what to do. That is our unconscious, and in a way we are fated by his actions and his want and needs of the world, and we are just like this little floating globe, and he's just doing his little thing and moving us around, and he might just ship someone with another person, just go yep. I
can't believe you thought a discussion about God to shipping.
I'm trash. How many times?
Oh my god.
But no, just weird things like that.
Oh god, is that? Well, there was a theory that every time you walk into a room and you forget what you're doing, that's like a sim deleting thing. But if I'm honest, last time I went to the swimming pool, the ladders didn't disappear.
No. And I did not get stuck in my room because the door disappeared this morning, so for once.
That's a concern. It's like Miss Limerick now every morning, like, fucking where did I leave my door? Climbing out the window again.
That could happen.
Oh god.
It could.
But yeah, you wouldn't know Sims without developers. No. You wouldn't have developers without people like me. It's better.
Make a game.
I have.
Did you?
I've made loads of games.
Are they on...
They're all a sack of shit because I made them for game jams. There's one game that I've deemed a success, and it's a cross between Snake and Space Invaders.
Ooh.
And the project last year was to finish it and release it, but because... As
in release it for production or release it for people to buy?
I was just going to throw it on Play Store because you have to pay a metric butt ton to put it on Apple Store. Mm-hmm. But then I spent all of second year, because second year for me, it was the absolute worst. So, all the modules and stuff were just really, really awful. Mm-hmm. Like, really awful. And then I was like, I just want a break. And a break for a week turned into a break for 6 weeks. And I was like, shit, it's third year.
Wait, was that during summer?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
But now that I've got nothing to do, I could do it now. Except I can't because I booked myself between now and July, which is, in theory, when I'm supposed to be starting my masters. Was it?
Booked yourself?
I've got loads. I've just so many things planned because everyone's buggering off. So it's like, hey, let's all do things. And like, I can't.
Yes.
I don't have time.
And it sounds really stupid to say, oh, I'm busy socialising, but, you know, cramming 3 years, well, maybe your last year was, you know, the big one to some people. But for me, it was 3 years of not really socialising. And then it kind of turned around where my first year was kind of like my third year where I put all my effort into it when it doesn't count.
That's exactly.
And then my third year, I was so burnt out from putting all efforts into my first year that I just turned around and went, you've thrown all this shit at me.
Let me chill.
Let me chill. I will deal with it later. When I get my fucking final grade and it's like, hey, you just passed.
Yeah, hey.
Thanks. Just take my first year grade, please. Can't that be a thing?
Yeah, oh god, the exact same. In first year, I was so good with money.
Yeah.
I went to all lectures because I'm a nerd. I went out. I missed the chance to meet Tomska twice.
Me and Sammy went to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met Tomska.
A few friends of mine went to his talk.
Yeah.
And then, because it was on a Tuesday, he went to Skin.
I did not know he went to Skin.
He went to Skin, and my
What?
housemates met him. And one of them was like met him properly and was like, "Hi, I'm Joel, I'm a big fan." And he got talking to him. Another friend spoke with him out in the smoking area for 10 minutes. And then when Tomska eventually left, or when he went back inside, he met up with the other flatmate where it was like, "Look, you just spoke to Tomska." I was like, "What? Oh, that guy, yeah, he seems pretty cool." It's like, "Do you know who that is?" Like, "No."
That must be quite relieving for a person like Tomska who, okay, he's not like Beyonce level, but in the YouTube world he kind of is.
Like a lot of people, in first year when I was doing the open days, I remember someone who wanted to go on the computer science course, and I said to him, like, "Oh, so what's brought you to Lincoln then?" Mm-hmm. He said, "Oh, Tomska went here." It's like, he did media, or he did animation.
Yeah, I think he did animation. Because that's what he does on his YouTube channel a lot.
I was like, why would you do a computer science course for someone who has already finished their animation degree? Like, at that point, only Dean Dobbs of those three remained.
Yeah.
Because
Jack Howard.
Jack Howard had just finished. Tomska had just finished. Who gets mentioned in every like write-up for Lincoln. So it's always like a game of bingo between him, Jason Bradbury, Chris Pelham, or Charles Pelham, Chris Pelham. And then I think Jenny came here, Jenny B, his girlfriend. Or did she go to Cambridge?
Or Tomska's.
Tomska's ex-girlfriend now. They broke up like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you should really watch his channel. There's some shit about them. I think it might be her. I might be mistaken.
I'm very far behind because I haven't been able to watch YouTube because I've been doing all this fucking programming. But all of that like group that used to do videos together, I'm pretty sure all went to Lincoln because in a few of the early videos there's like the rooms and paths, which is so weird. So they've all like disappeared apart from Dean Dobbs at that point. So they all came to Lincoln to do a degree in computer science for media people who had already gone. I mean,
you can get inspired by those kind of people. We don't necessarily have to come to Lincoln.
I can't get that guy out of my head now.
What, so you just play video games?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did say it was going to be an offensive kind of topic.
3 years. I've missed so much.
But when you do your masters, that'll obviously get you networking. It will.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because if you haven't already met some great people and great contacts now,
thing is
it better to to say like get out of Lincoln, but
I think that's what makes it worse. I'm already in a released game.
And has it made a name for itself? Kind of.
It's an independent game called Gear Gauntlet. It's a puzzle game, and I'm more because I beta tested it because I got in good with the developers. And so I'm second in the thanks in the credits.
Wow.
So that's what I mean. Like 3 years, I'm already in a game, and there are people. Obviously, you're just saying here because obviously to get me pissed. People generally do believe that my course is not a legit course. The same way people still believe drama is not a real course, or psychology, or forensic science. It's just playing NCIS for an hour.
Which it is. No, it's not.
I chose forensic science.
More people.
Event all the people. But it's just 3 years. I'm just trying to think of all the things that I missed. Obviously, missed meeting Tomska, technically twice. I missed seeing Steel Panther at the Engine Shed.
I'm sorry.
That was the worst one because me and Jacob were going to get tickets. The day we found out they'd sold out and we couldn't go, he was walking through town and he met Michael Starr, the lead singer, and high-fived him. And he said, "Yeah, you're cool, dude," and carried on walking. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Just out of the blue? He
Yeah,
just high-fived him?
they were passing each other on the train lines, and Jacob saw him, got a bit startled, like, "You're Michael Starr." And it's like, "Yeah, dude, high five."
Oh.
It's like, why?
I love when celebrities are chill like that. And it's just like, "Don't touch me, peasant."
I missed a band called. Well, I didn't get to see Trivium or Bullet from a Valentine. Bullet from a Valentine toured because I got really confused. I wasn't too fussed about seeing Bullet because I haven't been a fan of their recent albums. And then I read their support, and it was like August Burns Red and Memphis Mayfire, two American metalcore bands who I'm not really interested. So I was like, I'll give it a pass. They were the American supports. The British supports were a band I can't remember, and a band called While She Sleeps. Who, I
fucking love them.
I fucking love While She Sleeps. And I was absolutely gutted that I missed them. And I ended up working the day they played anyway, so I couldn't go in. And the next day, I had it off.
They went to a club afterwards as well.
I don't know if they went to a club. I imagine so.
They went to Cubes.
Did they fucking?
They did. I'm pretty sure.
Makes it worse.
Sorry.
Do you remember Tom?
Yeah.
He messaged. Well, he put a Facebook status or messaged me or something, saying that the guys from While She Sleeps went into work and went in to see Spectre.
Oh.
And he got to meet
them.
And I fucking missed that.
But you were working.
It was the day I was my day off.
Day
he was working, I was off.
Oh.
So they all went in to see Spectre. Trivium went around like the Brayford. Like I saw on their Instagram, they were having a meal in Wagamama's. Right.
Damn.
I was like, I could have been so close.
I could have licked your food.
I think they went to one of the cafes around. So I think Cafe Aroma they went to as well.
They would.
So they went like.
Such hipster.
So they went like all about the place. So obviously missed them. What else have I missed? All these great things that I should have seen.
It's okay. He's holding his head with great force. Oh God! Please don't cry. Please don't cry.
I don't know if I can anymore.
There.
You're the most non-sympathetic person I've met. You're sat across the table, arms crossed, going there.
I'm looking at the trash, just going. I'll put you in there soon.
Gee, thanks, bro.
I'm sorry.
You're not though.
I am for everything that you've missed because university, as much as people think that we play video games all day or we just sleep all day, there are some of us who do sacrifice a lot to be here. And whether that's mentality, which is most of the time, even if it's just temporarily in third year for dissertation, and they are hard things to do. Did you not? Yeah, you did a dissertation.
No.
You fucked it up. You can't judge me.
No, I'm laughing at a hard thing to do.
Oh. God damn it. Stop being child.
Stop being child?
Stop being... Yes. The adult.
No! I remember like being 15, 16 year old. Year old. And then looking at my sister who would have been 21 or that sort of age and thinking, wow, she's got like so much shit together. She's engaged, she's doing this, she's doing that. And now that I'm 21, I'm like, everything's on fire!
But at least you've got a house next year, you've got a plan for doing masters. What happens if the masters falls through somehow? I don't know.
Keep headbutting a table till something else cool comes along.
We'll make a game. If I can voice actor, you're
pissing off.
I can Skype. I can read a script, record myself and send it to you.
Oh.
I would love to do that though, like Matthew Mercer and his gang.
Critical Role, for fuck's sake.
They are so cool, and I just love them.
If you could sink any further in that chair, I think you could. Now you just that's just the floor now.
I would. Oh, my friends went to MCM, I think.
Yeah. The one this weekend.
Yeah.
MTM.
And they met Kit Buss, the artist
for
Critical Role. And apparently she is the nicest girl ever, and she kind of, what do you call it, when they're there for a little while, they had Kit play like a campaign, a special, and we have kind of asked her to come with us next MCM when I'm going to cosplay Keyleth, and we want her to be her character. I think it's pronounced Lilith.
Lilith sounds
Lilith.
vaguely right.
So maybe she will be cosplaying with us, and then maybe we get the Critical Role gang to come to England. Maybe. I really want to do it. I really wanted to do it. And then we'll get all the Critical Role people there, and I get to meet Matthew Mercer.
Why are you punching yourself in the face?
Because I'm fangirling. I don't know how.
The fangirling for you is punching yourself in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, life is weird. That's the thing. I would feel better. It's like, oh yeah, you can mock my degree, but I know I'm good at things. Like, I'm scraping a 2-1. Like, this year went so bad.
But at the end of the day, we put in effort. We can look back and think, okay, that was fucking painful, but I have not only met some amazing secure foundation friends. Hey, don't you look at me like that. But
you've called me a neckbeard twice in the space of an hour.
Does that mean we're not friends? I thought that like solidified the friendship, that the fact I can call you that and you not rage on me and punch me in the face.
No, you're apparently doing that all by yourself. Pretty fine.
Please don't throw me in the trash.
That's very where I live.
But then we can look back and go, okay, education may not be my forte, but I have done what I can, and now hopefully the real world will be better for me, because there must be a place for us somewhere.
Do you really think that?
I'm a massive believer in fate. I won't go into why, but I am.
It's weird talking to an optimist.
I don't think I'm an optimist. I think in the spectrum of things, I'm not a pessimistic person. I'm not a realist. I'm more in between optimism and realist. Like, I don't think everything is sunshine and rainbows. I know pain. But I just think if we can keep 2 feet on the ground and try to look at the bright side of things, sometimes things are fucking shit, and you can, cry, and it's okay not to be okay, kind of deal. But as long as you've got a secure foundation to kind of latch back onto, like friends, family, etc., as long as you know you've got that rock, it'll be fine. People are going to be looking out for you at some point, and they're always going to be there. So yeah, life might fucking suck, but there are aspects of life that are cool. Like Dungeons and Dragons, am I right?
You made this so deep and ended it on that. To be fair, as soon as you said, there, you're rock, for some reason the first thing that came into my head is Patrick Star in his house.
That's my rock.
No idea why.
SpongeBob is my rock.
It is my rock. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Yes.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
I don't know. I thought it was SpongeBob.
It might be.
Might be.
Who knows?
Maybe you've just made a quote. You'll go down in history as Rockman.
That's
he
not
could be
the
a wrestler.
There's
Rockman.
there's already a rock.
There's the Rock, but there's not Rockman.
I guess. Yes, life dreams be the computer programmer based Rockman.
Mm-hmm.
Slaying enemies with C++.
With kick-ass beats.
What? I know wrestling's a bit weird sometimes.
I don't know, take a guitar as your like weapon. They throw chairs at one another. I'm sure a guitar won't mind.
They've done the guitar. Jeff Jarrett did the guitar.
Go. Oh well.
And the Kiss Demon.
Now the whole Rockman thing's really blown out of the water.
Yeah, the guitar's been done quite a bit. There was another one who was literally, he would shred on the way to the ring, but because it wasn't plugged in, it just looked like he was shredding. The 90s were a weird time.
Mm-hmm. But great for WWE.
Arguably.
The Rock.
You say that I could easily do like a 4-hour podcast just on wrestling. For every good thing, there's a bad thing. For every bad thing, there's a good thing. You say Rock, all I keep thinking of now is there was a storyline where this guy called Val Venus, because his name rhymes with penis, his finishing move was called the Money Shot. He was in an angle with this old Japanese, very racist group called Kaientai, and Val Venus had a habit of like courting people close to other wrestlers, i.e. girlfriends, sisters, that sort of thing. And the like manager leader of Kaientai, Val Venus tried to get with his wife or his sister or something. So in retaliation, they kidnapped him, strung him up, pulled his shorts down, got a katana, and went to choppy his pee-pee.
Oh, damn!
And it was about to happen until everything cut to black, and then apparently someone saved him. But yeah, a bunch of...
No, I'm sorry, but most of wrestling is just acting.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. That must have been acted out. That must have been scripted.
Oh yeah, it's all scripted. That's the one thing I've always claimed. It's not fake, it's scripted. There is a difference.
Yeah.
But
they practice their moves, they practice who's... But do they know who's going to win?
Yes.
Okay.
As much as I love wrestling and I would defend it to the ground, there are some times where I'm like, yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do they call it? A reality show.
Yeah.
Yeah. With some muscly men and girls in bikinis. Either way, I'm not going to complain.
Doesn't happen anymore. It's PG now.
I threw my water thing to the ground.
A plastic cup.
I'm raged. I would like to rage.
Well, that could be the Holly cast.
Ooh.
Oh god. It would just be you raging about something and then talk about D&D for 4 hours. Oh god.
Nice.
Cool. So, I guess we could end it on there on my fake degree.
So, summary. Your degree's fake.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
Until you make an indie game of yourself and go to E3, and then I will apologise for calling your degree fake. But only until then, your degree is
That means I've got to keep in contact with you now, doesn't it?
Yes. Yay!
Cool.
He's crying.
Oh, on the inside. Slowly on the outside. I have hair in my eye. Cool, so we shall end it there on my fake degree. Any parting words? Or any parting jingle? Or any parting anything? Good response.
Your life.
Live
do
your...
you.
Do you. That's...
You do you.
That sounds weird.
That is my mantra.
That's...
Mantra.
Mantra?
I think it's mantra.
I guess it depends what part of...
Another podcast! How to spell shit.
Well, you got like Bath and Bath. I mean, you're northern, so you'll say mantra.
I'm fucking Midlands. Do not pause it there.